So there's so many different directions I could go. You bring up community, that's a pretty loaded word for Banan and what it means to us, because I'd like to think that we've created a strong community just amongst our employees and our families and friends that's extremely supportive, and we wouldn't be here without them. And we also put in efforts to create a sort of larger community with kind of whichever neighborhood we're entering into. On Montserrat, we started events called Pauhana Happenings, and they were actually Burning Man inspired in that we wanted to create a common space for artists and anybody in the community to bring whatever goods or services they wanted to offer or share for free. So at one of our first ones, this awesome folk indie duo, Foreseeable Futures, came down and they debuted one of their albums at the Banan Lot. We had my parents' company, Beat It, do like a bead bar where you could make jewelry. We served out free banan all night, and Primo Beer sponsored a whole bunch of beer for everybody to just have a great time. And that was a completely open party, open to the community, and a lot of our neighbors showed up, and it was just a great community gathering. So I would say we put a lot of effort into creating community, as well as being involved in very specific kind of community efforts like supporting nonprofits. One of them, Travel to Change. We have a small little partnership where at their beach cleanups and yoga classes and forest restorations, if you attend one, you can get a little Banan voucher to get free toppings on your next Banan. So there's a couple ways, there's a lot of ways to do that.
So as far as our impact, so social impact, our whole business was built around a triple bottom line. So whereas a lot of companies form a philanthropic arm or some sort of a CSR mission that is to maybe make up for their lack of, positive impact with the products that they're selling or the services that they're doing, our whole model is based on doing good. And so I think our social impact is just incorporated into everything we do. We've really focused on low-income housing, and we've gotten subsidies to do low-income housing. So that saves people who need it the most money every month on their electric bills and on their water bills. We've incorporated some community elements, such as planting a tree for every house that we serve. So we found a place that does third world development where there's been deforestation as a result of slash and burn agriculture. And we partnered with this nonprofit organization that goes to those places, works with the farmers there to plant cash crop trees and native trees on these farms that are basically denuded and the soils have eroded and there's nothing left. So it costs $1 per tree. It's exceptionally affordable. It's called Trees, Water, People. And I think every company could do something like that. And then you get a report based on where your trees are being planted and the impacts you're having on people's livelihoods, and then also on carbon emissions and that sort of thing. This is carbon sequestration. It's creating green jobs, and it's just positive all around. So those are the kinds of things that we try to look for, but I want to do more. I'm not exactly sure what that looks like now, but I want to do more as we go forward.
We've got an interesting business. It's local, but it's very tourist related, and so we don't have a lot of interaction with the community, and that's something that I've struggled with. And so what we've done is, whenever there's extra equipment that we're phasing out, we'll donate them. We've donated tons of computers to the Boys and Girls Club. We just recently donated complete systems with monitors and keyboards and everything ready to go to Net Enterprise. And so I think that that it is kind of a natural thing for us because we have the equipment there, and there's a lot of people that can benefit from that.
We absolutely consider community part of our business model. that's actually an area that I have a lot of knowledge in. And one of my mentors was a guy named Nish Nataraja, who was the man that, or the person that created the idea of an elite, a Yelp elite, right? So that whole Yelp elite group, he created that kind of mastermind of how to create content and how to get the word out about through community. And so I learned a lot from him in terms of how you can get those ambassadors and people who are true believers in your product and almost kind of take it on as their own. They believe it's kind of their own. They almost become watchdogs, and we needed that. We needed people who were, advocating. We needed people who were rating the wines. We needed people who were going to be reporting any kind of misuse when someone uploaded a picture of a naked person instead of the wine bottle. Like, we needed people that were going to be right on that and reporting it. And so that was a huge part of our business. And I think that was a huge way that we were able to rise to the top in terms of our competition very quickly, because we utilized our community, whether that was through downloads, through rating, through helping to get the word out, getting 5 friends to download the app. We hosted huge events. We hosted huge wine tasting events with, I think our largest one was 800 people. We had a huge following. We had about 25,000 people in the Nervino community in the Bay Area. And it was very robust. We had a pretty major entourage going on.
So a new venture that we're doing with this new space that we had to get, the warehouse and also the fridge. One, we knew that was going to be a big expense and it would be hard for us to incur for ourselves, but also knew that there's other similar local food-based businesses that had similar infrastructure needs. So out of this building, we created a new company called the Oahu Food Hub. And this is the idea of having a shared use space where local food businesses can come in and have access to dry storage, cold storage, and we're eventually going to be developing a shared use processing kitchen, which will allow more product from farms to come in here, have additional markets for their products, but then also have access for the local processors that want to come in and use products. So instead of everyone having to go out and create these relationships with all these different farms, the idea with the Food Hub, it's a one-stop shop where they can come in here and the product that they need is already in the fridge, and there's a certified kitchen for them to work out of, and then also access to markets, whether it's through the CSA, farmers markets, or through restaurants.
So everything about our soap is we want to be as local and sustainable as possible. So the printing is done locally. Everything, I try to get as many ingredients local as possible. We give about $400 a month back into the community, and as far as donations go, so we donate about $400 worth of soap to like women and children's shelters or beach cleanups or whatever it is. And sometimes people ask, and then if nobody asks, then we just deliver big boxes of soap to the same organizations over and over again. But we definitely give back, and we also think that if people are going to be showering at the beach, they should be using soap without chemicals. So we're always, giving some extra to people that we know that are going to be showering at the beach. And whether you're homeless or you're a pro surfer, it's important that we're using natural soap. So we're trying to find as many avenues as we can to give away soap, and also, make aware and educate the farmers and any kind of people that we can get involved. And we donate all of our old buckets and 55-gallon drums to Kokuakali Valley, and they use them to plant trees. And so pretty much on all levels of our business, we try to find some way to partner with our community.
Okay, so if we're talking about community in the sense of networking, like I said before, you ask everybody questions, same thing. Networking is massive. You're not going to do anything without networking. You can go out there and try to do all you want yourself, and hey, you might make it, I don't know, but you're taking the hard road. You can do it a lot easier if you're networking. Community is like the community that comes to my farmers markets and things like that. yeah, I love them. They support my business. I love seeing them. I love hearing from them or what they like and what they don't like. We get a lot of positive feedback. It's kind of cool. We use the Square app to accept credit cards, and people leave us cool little comments like, "Oh, that was great," and you know, great experience, very knowledgeable, things like that. Community as far as networking, huge.
Community is very important to our company. We do want to teach English. That's what we're doing, but my vision for the company is to have a website where people from all around the world have a common goal, learning English, but they also have the ability to communicate with each other and learn about other cultures, and we're connecting the world through that common language. So eventually, I'd like it to kind of be like a Facebook social networking site just for English learners.